Hey guys, it's Alan here. Now in this video I'm going to be talking about this symbol here. Now this symbol you often see in martial arts movies, we even have an emoji for it, people have it on their arms as a tattoo. So in this video I'm going to show you how to use the principle of Yin-Yang and the ancient philosophies and how we can predict the future and also how we can ride through the crisis. At the end of the video I'm going to show you 3 ways how to apply it into your own life so you can be the best you can be and protect yourself and others throughout this time. So what is Yin-Yang? What is this symbol? This symbol comes from Chinese science, Chinese philosophies, ancient wisdom, and you also see in martial arts as well. You have your good, your bad. Oftentimes, Yang is the white side, Yin is the black side. Yin normally represents negativity. It's soft and is also represented as the female. Yang is the male energy and is also represented as hard, the aggressive side. Now this symbol alone, there's a lot of meanings that you can derive from it, and it teaches us about life and how to predict life and also predicts how the world and the nature works. The core fundamental meaning of Yin-Yang is about duality. And duality means is this: you cannot have day without night. I'll give you an example. Let's say if all we have in this world is all daytime. When it's all daytime, daytime cannot exist because you don't have nighttime. Because if it's always daytime, then you only have that one thing and you have nothing to compare it to. That means you cannot have a daytime. It's likewise, in life, we have to have good times to have bad times. We have to have bad times to have good times. Because if things are always good, you got nothing to compare it to, and then life is not as beautiful. What they say is life is beautiful because of the ups and downs. You think of it, it's like an orchestra. If you listen to all high notes all the time, you're gonna go crazy. You listen to all low notes all the time, it's crazy. But a good symphony, the symphony of life, has the ups and downs. So that means that in the life, Yin-Yang, you want the ups and the downs. You want the good and the bad, the negative and the positive. Yin-Yang teaches us to accept it and then just flow with life. Everything goes in cycles. So from here, if we have summer, after summer we have autumn or fall. After fall we have winter. After winter we have spring. After that, what happens? We go back to summer. You have day. After day, what happens? You have night. After night, what happens? You have day. So what it teaches us that everything in life goes in cycles. Nature goes in cycles. When things are cyclical, you can actually predict it. So in ancient times, it actually helped farmers predict. Okay, so now the rain's coming on hard right now. This is what we need to harvest. And then when it dries out, there's a drought, this is what you need to do. So another aspect that Yin-Yang teaches us is that nothing in life is permanent. Nothing lasts forever. So if you're going through a tough patch right now, there's a crisis, this too shall pass. There's a quote where they say, if today the rain is coming on down hard, tomorrow the sun will shine again. So that all sounds great. How do we apply it to our life? Now, when I see Yin-Yang, this is what I see. If we were to turn the Yin-Yang 90 degrees, like this way, you actually see a sine wave. And what I mean by sine wave is this. We have, let's say this is our life, and this is when life is good, this is when life is bad. The sine wave goes like this. Okay? This is your life, okay, this as time goes by. What happens is a lot of people, they ride through life. They flow with whatever life gives them and they react accordingly. So for example, when things are good, they celebrate, they enjoy, they have fun, they splurge, they binge. And then when things are bad, they cry, they complain, they have fear, they shrivel up. So that's what most people do. But what Yin-Yang teaches us, it teaches us to stay balanced. Because when we understand that this is how life is, first off, what high performers do, what peak performers do, is we learn to stay in the center. So Taoism and in martial arts, you learn, if you get hit, you get beaten down, doesn't matter, right? You stay in the center, you stay in your flow. When you stay in your flow, you're in your zone. So in your flow means stay in the middle. This is stuff that high performers talk about. In psychology, we call it flow. In sports, we call it being in the zone. Right? In martial arts, you call it no-mindedness. No-mindedness is that state where you're unaffected by anything, you know? And it's that state where you're in your body, in your zone. In pop culture, you call it ultra instincts. And it's that state where you're unaffected by anything that's going on around the world, right? The world can be going crazy, you know you can't control anything, but you are in control of yourself, right? And it's in that complete, utter state of letting go, that complete state of transcendence, of peace and tranquility, that you tap into a whole nother level of performance, a whole nother level of being able to achieve mental clarity, physical performance. It's just another level. And then when we're talking about the NBA, Michael Jordan, for example, when he's having those nights where where he's scoring above 40 points, he's scoring 50 points. They ask him, what goes on in your mind? What happens? Like, what do you think about when you're playing? Like, what goes on in your mind? He just says, I don't think about nothing. If I miss the point, it doesn't affect me. If I make it in, it doesn't affect me. How many times have you gone through life when before you're about to perform, you're about to shoot a ball, you're about to do something, you're about to break a board, you're about to do something, and your mind's saying, oh, maybe I can't do it, or what happens if I do it? And you're worrying about the success, you're also worrying about the failure of it. And so when that happens, we freeze up. So what Michael Jordan's talking about, being in the zone, being that flow state, is that you don't care about the results. It doesn't matter. All you care about is being in the moments and flowing. Because when you're in the moments and you're flowing, you perform at your best. And that's what he does. And it's the same thing when they ask Kobe and LeBron, what happens in your mind when you're shooting the ball with like 0.03 seconds left? They're saying the same thing. I don't care about the result. I just need to do what I need to do. They say, if I'm thinking about missing the ball, if I'm thinking about getting the ball in, I know I'm going to miss. And Bruce Lee says the same thing about no-mindedness. So in martial arts, when you're sparring, no-mindedness means you're not looking for the opportunity to hit. When you see an opportunity, you hit by itself. The body hits by itself. You don't need to think. You don't say, if he's going to do this, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that. Ready? Boom, it just hits by itself. You have to train yourself where your mind, your body's so connected, where you let go of thoughts, let go of the mind, no-mindedness, and flow. The key to life is letting go. And don't worry about the results. We're holding to too many things. I know there's fear, there's crisis out there, there's stuff on social media, there's stuff that your friends send you. It's very easy to get caught up in all that and let that affect your performance. So Taoism, Yin-Yang teaches us, for me, my idea of Yin-Yang is it teaches us to go back within and to listen to yourself and let go of everything else. Because when you're able to do that, you perform on a whole new level. Also, this teaches us that nothing in life is permanent, okay? And you will go up and down, and when you can accept that, life is easy. Now, from here, I want to show you 3 things that you can do to apply this into your life. So the first thing I want you to do is this, is the idea of controlling your emotions. It's so easy for so many people to get caught up in their emotions. Our emotions can either control us and lead us downhill, and we become like a rag doll on the ocean, or we can learn to master it, control it, emotional mastery, and control life. So how do you control your emotions? Very easy. I'll give you a very simple tip that I learned from one of my good friends. Her name's Pauline, the author of The Way of the Spiritual Entrepreneur. And she says this, we have an emotion because we're holding on to something. We're trying to resist something. So for example, there's an outcome that we don't like, we're trying to resist it. When we resist it, that's creating an emotion. So give you an example, if you're not happy at work, right? Or if you're scared you're going to lose your job, that's an emotion. You're resisting that outcome, so that's why you have an emotion. You know someone who's bad-mouthing you, that you don't like them, or there's a bad tension there, you're resisting that. When there's resistance, there's emotional, and it's more often than not, and it's a negative emotional charge. So what my friend says is, you want to learn to let go of the charge. Don't give it a charge. If someone's giving you bad energy, don't give that energy. Don't give it a charge. Don't give that person energy. Same thing, I know right now there's a crisis, and everywhere you go, everything's falling apart. Everyone's stressed. There's so much fear. So that's how you control your emotions. The more you give it a charge, the more you give it attention, the more you focus on it, the more you talk about it, you are giving it a charge. You're giving it energy. When you give it energy, it's going to grow, and then your emotions will go out of control. So the best way to control your emotions is start to learn how to let go of everything. And then to me, it's the idea of letting go of resistance. When you let go of resistance, we're always trying to resist things. So let go of that, and nothing will affect you. So let's say you're about to compete in a competition. If you enter that competition with this idea of, I'm going to kill it, right? I want to win. I can't wait to win. But at the same time, I don't want to lose. What happens is you enter it in that state of emotions. You see many fights in the UFC or in boxing rounds. The guy who comes in with a lot of emotions, you might look, oh, he's more aggressive, like he has the advantage. But oftentimes, a person who's calm and collected and seems to have that blank face, boom, they're the one that's in control. Conor McGregor is a massive example. If you watch Conor McGregor, once he enters the octagon, he's another different person. He could be acting wild and stuff, at the press conference and stuff like that, but once he enters the octagon, look at his eyes. Next time you see it, look at his eyes. He's blank, and he's in the zone. He's ready to go. When he gets hit, it doesn't faze him. There's no expression. He just gets back up. Other people, they get hit, they flinch. It's about being in the zone, okay? Now, I'm not saying that you live with zero emotions and you hide all your emotions and blank everything out. No, I don't mean that. True living is living the full spectrum of your emotions. True living is feeling all the emotions, but there's a difference between feeling them and letting them control you. So if you have a family member that's sick, yes, you feel the emotions. You don't hide it. You don't block it away because it's not going to be good for you long term. You feel it, but you don't let it affect you. If you have a competition, you feel the emotions, you feel the excitement. But when it's game time, you get in, boom, zone. Stay in your zone. And so the best way to stay in your zone is do not worry about the outcome. The second thing is learn to have balance or integrity. Here's what I mean. Oftentimes what happens is the majority of people without balance and without integrity, they're just riding. The best leaders are always consistent. They're reliable. They always show up and you know it's consistent. When things are good, they're not celebrating, they're going crazy. And then when things are bad, they crumble. The best leaders are always staying consistent and they have integrity. The high performers, we always have integrity. You say you're going to do something, you do it. No matter if it's raining, no matter if it's storming, no matter if you're feeling sore. So I spent a year where once I learned about the 5 a.m. club, I set myself a challenge where every single day for 1 year, I would wake up at 5 a.m. Now don't get me wrong, there were so many times when I wake up and it's raining or like my body's sore from a training session the night before, I did not want to get up. But it was that mindset that I have to have integrity. And integrity is very important even when no one's watching, right? Because a lot of people say, I'll do what I need to do when there's more stake at hand. But when there's no one's watching and you're by yourself, that's when it counts. Because that's how you build the internal discipline, the internal self-confidence. If you're able to have integrity and have balance in yourself, you can approach any situation, any crisis, anything that comes at you, you can approach it with poise, confidence, and control. So the second way for you to apply this is understand that in life, the world will never go as you planned. You will not feel like doing stuff. There will be days when you wake up and you're not motivated. There will be days when you wake up and you're sore, you're tired, things against you. Life will get in the way, excuses will get in the way. But Yin-Yang teaches us that expect that. You will have these moments, you will have times where you wake up, you're motivated. You wake up times where you have momentum and you're feeling good. But the key to high performance and leadership, self-leadership, is doing what you said you would after the mood is gone. It's having that integrity to keep your word. Kobe Bryant says it. So many people say, I want to be the best, I want to be the greatest. But when it comes down to it, they don't put in the effort. When it comes down to it, they ride this, they ride that. So, but Kobe Bryant says, you want to stay in the middle. You keep your word. You say you're going to be the best, do what it takes to commit to yourself. Sign that contract to yourself and commit to that contract for yourself to be the best you can be. Number 3, lesson 3, for you to apply this into your life, Yin-Yang also teaches us to flow. So yes, we talk about being in control, but remember duality. You want to have control. You want to be in control of yourself, but at the same time, be adaptable to flow. When you're able to combine control and flow, combine together, that's when you have unity and that's when you have power. So in Taoism, they have a quote where the strongest oak tree will fall when there's a storm because it's stiff, it's strong, it's stiff and it's immovable. But the flexible bamboo is the one that survives. So what it teaches us in life, you want to be fluid, be like water, adapt, learn to adapt. Because if you're too stuck, you're too strong, you're too stiff, and you don't want to change, you will not survive. Just like the dinosaurs, they couldn't adapt, they became extinct. But if you're able to be flexible and adapt with the times, innovate, then you can change. So there's a beautiful quote I love, to change with change is the changeless state. So if you want to go with the times, change with the times, that way you'll keep adapting. So like, give you an example for us, last week our government told us we had to shut down the gym, not have anyone in. So we pivoted, we changed straight away, and we launched virtual training. And for the past weeks, it's been going really well. Everyone's been loving the virtual challenges. It also allows us later on to also allow people from around the world to join in our training. So that's awesome, right? So learning to adapt and see the best out of the situation. So how can you apply this in our situation right now? See, when things are good, you have high energy and everything's going well, maximize it. Train as much as you can. Get out there, do stuff, meet a whole bunch of people. But let's say right now we're stuck at home and there's not much going on, maximize this time. Use this time right now to self-reflect, to write your goals, to plan for the next few years, to read more books, develop yourself, improve yourself. Because right now you can't go out there, you can't train, you can't meet people, that's okay. Do what you can do right now. Stay at home and maximize that time. So it's learning how to adjust and pivot and still moving towards your vision. And that to me is the most important thing. So Yin-Yang teaches us the idea to always adapt and still maximize yourself. Make sure you guys apply that. I want you guys to be the best you can be, physically, mentally, emotionally. That's what the idea of Invincible is about. Together, I want you guys to be heroes and leaders of society, right? We can inspire people to be the best they can be. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and make sure you click the notification button. You get the notification when we release new videos. We're going to be releasing new videos every single week for you. You guys remember, so together, we rise together, we inspire together. Invincible's life.